This is Kurt Loomis with Kurt Loomis Real Estate powered by EXP. I am your Charlotte, North Carolina real estate agent, and I'm so excited to launch this channel. And I'm going to tell you 5 things you need to know about before you move to Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you one bonus tip about Charlotte, North Carolina. But if you could, please like and subscribe and share with all your friends and family. Here we go. Okay, so you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. Fantastic. Welcome. I'm excited for you. I am a licensed real estate broker here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm licensed in both North Carolina and South Carolina, and it's an incredible city. It is growing rapidly, and when I first moved here, I moved here in 2010. I didn't really know anything about the area or the lay of the land. So I want to save you some headache and tell you 5 things that you need to know before you move to Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 1, your cost of living and the housing market. So I'm in real estate. I've been doing real estate for 9 years. I know a little bit about this market. I will tell you, it is a very volatile market. We are one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, and the housing market is definitely a seller's market. Now, what does that mean? A seller's market means that there is less housing for more buyers. So what you want to consider is that if you're moving down here in the spring and the summertime, you're going to be dealing with a very, very competitive real estate market. Now, if you're coming down here, you want to make sure your realtor, possibly me, is ready and prepared for you to come down for a long weekend to come look at properties. Now, what we're seeing is a lot of people moving here are moving from major cities like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, DC. Why are people moving here? Well, compared to other bigger cities, the cost of living is relatively cheap. And another thing about this city is that it's growing so fast, but there's still a lot of room to grow too. So you want to be prepared when you are getting ready to move down here, that you are fully prepared to make an offer, and you are ready to hit the ground running with an agent. Number 2, traffic and commuting. Charlotte, North Carolina is laid out a little bit differently than most cities. Now, what I mean by that is that you got your New York City, your Chicago, where it's a very condensed downtown area, and it does spread out a little bit, but here we have what is called our downtown Charlotte area called Uptown. I'll explain it in another video, but you have Uptown, and then you have neighborhoods surrounding Uptown, and then you also have different ways of getting around the city. Now, how do you get around this city? So if you are working in downtown Charlotte, we call Uptown, you're going to want to know the lay of the land and how to get around. So first things first is that we have our major highways is 77, which runs north and south. You have 485, which is a circular highway that runs around the city of Charlotte. And you also have 85, which runs east to west. So those are going to be your main highways that you mainly use. Now, there are some other main roads to consider, such as Tryon, South Boulevard, Providence Road, and those are kind of some main streets that are in the Charlotte area that if you're going to want to know how to get yourself around, you're going to want to know those particular streets because they run pretty far and they run through the city in different areas. Now, what you also want to consider is that in Charlotte, we don't have your standard subway system. We have what is called a light rail. And the light rail runs north to south. It runs to 485 South, all the way up to UNC Charlotte, which is kind of in the eastern part of the city. So if you're looking to move here and you want to be somewhere where you don't have to worry about driving, which, a little tip, if you're moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, you want to make sure you have a car. You don't want to just 100% rely on public transportation because we're not designed that way yet to be a city where you can just rely on public transportation alone. Now, back to it, you have your light rail that runs north and south, and it's relatively cheap. You can jump on the light rail, you can park at certain spots, and you can ride into town, or you can ride to different events, concerts, sporting events that we have that you can use that light rail. And we also have a bus system called CATS, which not a lot of people use. Not to mention you have your Uber, your Lyft, and then you also have your scooters, which are all around the area. So that's number 2. Number 3, neighborhoods and lifestyle. Now, the beautiful part about the city of Charlotte, North Carolina is that you are close to bigger cities, you're closer to the beach, you're closer to the mountains, and within a couple of hours you can get to either one. But the beautiful part about Charlotte is that there's so many different cultures and lifestyle areas that you can check out. Such, for example, you have Plaza Midwood and you have Noda, which are areas that are a little more artsy and a little different. If you're into that kind of thing, like Plaza Midwood has some great restaurants and shops, and Noda is a little more artsy. And they're definitely great areas that if you want a little more of an eclectic scene, you can go check out. You have areas like South Park, which is kind of like a higher end shopping area. That's where the South Park Mall is. Very high end restaurants, luxury shops that you can go check out. If you're into living by the lake, you have Lake Norman, which is north of the city, and you have Lake Wiley, which is actually south of the city. And if you're into the boating and that type of lifestyle, like those are definitely areas that you want to check out. But then there's also some other great areas such as South End, which is 1 mile out south of the city. Fantastic area for, if you enjoy being out and about. Great restaurants, great bars, great shops, and you're so close to the city that, a lot of people will live there and then, commute to work by walking or taking the light rail. So then you got also other up-and-coming areas such as Camp North End, which is an absolutely fantastic new area with a lot of shopping and restaurants. So you kind of want to know your lay of the land. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help guide you to make sure you're living in the right area. Number 4, weather and climate. Now, we are in North Carolina, so you're probably wondering what the weather's going to be like. Now, ultimately, we have 4 seasons. We have summer, spring, winter, fall, right? So here in Charlotte, the winters are relatively mild. You're not going to see a lot of snow when you move here. Now during the day, it can get cold, like, your 40s, your 30s, usually at night, the coldest maybe is, in the 20s and the teens. Now that's really cold down here. It's like, if it gets down to the teens, things are going to shut down. And another thing too about shutting down is if you move to Charlotte, North Carolina, and you're from, a northern city, you're used to, you grew up in snow. I grew up in New York State. It snowed every winter. And, even if we had a couple inches of snow, we'd still have to be at school. The great part about being in North Carolina, at least in, Charlotte, North Carolina, is that even if it's going to, like, possibly snow or there's a threat of snow, everything shuts down. School shuts down, and, everybody goes to the grocery store, gets their water, their milk, their bread. Everything shuts down. Now that kind of makes it hard for kids because kids have to not go to school. So, that definitely doesn't help with that case. But, we're not prepared for snow down here. So just be warned, the threat of snow, gonna shut down. Spring and summer is beautiful down here. The sky is blue all the time. I've heard the term Carolina blue skies. It is very beautiful down here in the spring and the summer. In springtime, pollen is pretty bad. Just be prepared if you have bad allergies. And summertime gets a little warm, so just make sure that you buy a house with a pool or live in a neighborhood that has a pool or have a friend that has a pool. Falls, pretty beautiful. A lot of people like to drive in the mountains and go check out the leaves change. Number 5, the job market. What is the job market like down here? When I moved here in 2010, we were known as the banking and finance district. Right? Banking and financing was the main hub here. So companies like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Truist, Ally, your big banks are here. We are considered the financial capital of the South, and banks definitely are a big hub when it comes to being one of the main employers here. Another thing is hospitals such as Atrium Health and Nova Health. There are lots of great hospitals down here that people tend to be employed. Big thing is financial technology. So with banks, we also have the fintech industry here that's really big too. A lot of companies are growing their headquarters here, and people are moving their headquarters here left and right because it's a great location. You're a couple hours from, Atlanta, a couple hours from DC. We have an international airport here too, so it makes flying and commuting easier for these companies. So our job market here is absolutely fantastic. We have companies moving here left and right. Now, what I will say is that it's very competitive. So when you come down here, make sure you have a plan in place if you're going to look for a job or try to transfer, through your company if they are here. And so, just factor that in too. So that's number 5. Now, here is the bonus tip that you need to know about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. Bonus tip is we are called the Queen City. We are the Queen City because it is an absolutely beautiful city. I consider this city a jewel. When I moved here in 2010, it has grown so much in the last 15 years. It's only gotten more beautiful. And another great thing, that makes this city so beautiful is that, we have professional sports teams. We have the Panthers for football. We have the Hornets in NBA. Charlotte FC for the MLS. And then we also have the Charlotte Knights AAA baseball, which that stadium is right in the city, and it's absolutely stunning. You will love it. And then we also have the AHL Charlotte Checkers. So we have some great things here. We are growing like crazy. And I would love the opportunity